concerned. My name is Monica Williams. I am the Associate Director of the Center for Mental Health Disparities at the University of Louisville. I don't say Louisville like a native. I think they say it Lowville because I'm not from here originally. I'm really from all over. I was raised in California and I've studied on the East Coast and the West Coast, and now I've found myself in the Midwest slash South. I am also an assistant professor in the Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences here at the University of Louisville. And I am the executive director of the Behavioral Wellness Counseling Clinics, which are two outpatient clinics one in Kentucky and one in Virginia. So I do have a lot of clinical experience as well as academic and research experience, which I'll be drawing from during my presentation to you today. I'm also licensed as a clinical psychologist in the state of Pennsylvania and Kentucky. The first stage, conformity, refers to a time early in a person's ethnic identity development where they may uncritically accept the values of the majority culture. So ethno-racial minority individuals in this stage may value white role models, white standards of beauty and success, and may even believe it's better to be white. So they've heard a lot of the social messages that come through the media and the television and see benefits of being white, think of that as the default, and feel that perhaps they're even part of that group. Additionally, there may be underlying negative emotions toward the self for not being white or not ever actually being able to be white, which can pose some self-esteem problems as well. The next stage is the dissonant stage, and this is where people start to acknowledge that they are impacted by racism, and this could be triggered by an event or something that causes a person to examine and question their own beliefs. For example, somebody who perhaps has been in the previous stage of conformity, well, perhaps they end up being rejected by some white friends that they tried to identify with in college. And these other students decide that they don't fit in or say something mean or insensitive, something that's so that has such an impact that it can't be ignored as anything other than racism. And so the person is then hurt and confused and may feel conflicted toward the dominant cultural system. The next stage after that is resistance. Because of the hurt and disillusionment, the person rejects the dominant culture and becomes more actively involved in their own culture. They may, they may say, I don't like white people. I can only count on black people. They may take on an exaggerated type of persona to just show how black they are. And at this stage, they may prefer to only be with other black people. The next stage is introspection. This is where the person starts to question the values of both his or her own minority group and the dominant group as well, and really starts to think about what are the good things with each, what are the bad things with each, and where do I fit in? And then finally, in the last stage, integrative awareness, the person develops a cultural identity that's based on both the minority and the dominant cultural values. They recognize that they have values of each, that they may be bicultural in certain respects, but they are very comfortable with their own self, the ethnic group that they were born into, and their own identity. And so at that point, the person feels secure. They still are not happy with things like racism and discrimination, but they accept that that's part of society, and they do want to see that change as well.